Going on, people of Earth? I don't know what to say. What do you want? What do you want to start off the episode with? I don't really care.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Okay, I don't care. Let's move on.
Mine
This
was
is
great. Thanks for asking.
yeah, great. So this is we're going to do an abbreviated episode with just picks, and maybe we'll recap. I mean, on the fly, what happened last week. But let's start tonight. Thursday night football. By the way, Extra Point Podcast. Send by Beauty Counter. Throw that out there. Cowboys Saints tonight. Cowboys. The old Omicron. No, I don't know. I don't know if that's actually what's happening, but Mike McCarthy is out with COVID. And I don't know. Are they missing? Who else are they missing?
They're getting a lot of people back.
PD.
Well, they're getting like everybody on their offense back, and the Saints are starting to lose. Well, not starting to lose, but they've had a lot of people out.
No Kamara.
And Taysom's starting.
Yeah, it's the Saints. They're bringing in Taysom Hill to start, but there's going to be no Alvin Kamara. It's going to be a lot of Mark Ingram. This is a big game. I think it's a must-win for both teams who are in different situations, sort of. I think the Cowboys aren't going to get the first seed, regardless of what happens tonight. I just don't. I'm gonna pick the New Orleans Saints. I think their defense is actually their strength. And I think the Cowboys, I think they're feeling the heat of possibly having a fifth loss, which is crazy because they were just 6-1. So I'm gonna pick New Orleans.
You and I are on completely different sides of this. I think the Cowboys got hosed last week against the Raiders for that Thursday midday game.
Yep.
I think the Cowboys got screwed. So they're gonna come out firing with their entire offense basically back. Give me the Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys by 10.
So I'll get a game up in the standings. Next up on Sunday, Buccaneers Falcons. Big news out of Tampa Bay today. Antonio Brown, safety Mike Edwards, and John Myers. They were suspended 3 games by the league because they misrepresented themselves with their COVID status. So they're going to be out 3 games, which that won't be like. I'm sure we're both picking the Bucs, right? Regardless.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
like this is big because it's going to be another 3 weeks until Brady and AB get back together. And I think the Buccaneers are they rely on that. And Gronk, obviously, Gronk is probably the bigger connection, but they have to wait another 3 weeks to get back. And even when they get warmed up, they won't probably be fully warmed up together until the playoffs. Like that kind of sets it back.
Well, here's the other part of this, though. Rappaport said on Pat's show today that they were not expecting AB to be back within these next few weeks anyways.
Yeah.
So basically, with him not being on IR, he's basically just like in recovery mode at this point.
Yeah.
Because he can't come back anyways. So
yeah,
you might as well just heal up and not going on IR. I mean, honestly, it almost saved him a little bit to be able to get back at the end of the season.
That is a good point. Most people should just get suspended for doing some stupid stuff or whatever, just to not go on IR and just to heal it. Like Aaron Rodgers or give me some great player who's been out. Whatever. Just like hurt yourself or not hurt yourself. Like do something stupid off the field, get suspended, heal up, and then get back in no time. It's just smart. I like it. We're both in the Buccaneers though. Next up, your team. Cardinals, Bears. This is Bears are only 1 game back in the wild card.
I know. How is that possible?
It's football. That's what's great about the NFL compared to college. There are 4 teams that are in it in the end. The NFL, look, this is what are we in, week 13 or whatever?
Yep.
The Bears are 4-7. The Giants are 4-7. Their team, like the Miami Dolphins were just 1 in whatever, were they 1-6 or something? 2-7. I don't know what they were. They're in it too. So that's what's great about football. You're never out of it. The Bears might be terrible. I think so. Maybe most of the world thinks so, but they're still in it.
Hey, Robert Quinn, Defensive Player of the Month.
I did see that. Yes. Following last month's Devondre Campbell, but who cares? I care. So who are you picking?
I'm picking the Cardinals. I'm projecting Kyler and Hopkins to both be back. And if they're both back, it's gonna be a very, very tough time for the Bears.
So as a Packer fan, I'm rooting for the Bears, obviously, because it's crazy. Well, not obviously, but it's crazy because I need the Cardinals to lose so the Packers can get the 1 seed during their bye week. Shout out Green Bay Packers beating the LA Rams last week, 36-28. They're studs, and they're getting their guys back, but whatever. Kyler's coming back. DeAndre's coming back. Bears, they're 4-7. The defense without Khalil Mack, I think, has been able to hold their own. But I think Arizona's just too powerful. They're 9-2. They're the number 1 seed. We're both on Arizona. But if the Bears win it, that's why you play the game. That's why you play the game.
Yeah. All power to them.
Yep. This is a next up at noon. Very underrated game. The LA Chargers at the Cincinnati Bengals. Chargers are 6-5. The Bengals are 7-4. Both teams are in that mosh pit of teams that are alive in the AFC. A matchup of the future, Herbert versus Burrow. I'll pick the Bengals. I was hesitating a little bit. I didn't know because I love Justin Herbert. I think the Bengals at home this year, I've seen them again at home. They play so well. I like the Bengals here. I think Joe Mixon's having a hell of a year, by the way. Joe Mixon is second in the NFL in rushing yards. Joe Burrow is so talented. They have so many great. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler. They have some studs. And the defense has obviously played better than it has in years past. So give me Cincinnati, and it's only because the Chargers, I think, have failed to kind of reach expectations in a lot of games. I think they should be better than 6-5, but they're inconsistent. So give me the Cincinnati Bengals.
To correct you, Joe Mixon's technically third because Derrick Henry's still second, but Derrick Henry's about to lose that.
That is pretty impressive. Derrick Henry, though, is still there.
Dude, imagine that. He's out this, week 4 that he's going to be out now? He's been out 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And he's still second in the league in rushing.
Just unreal. Speaks to who he is as a runner, as a freaking Mack truck. He's insane.
I'm going with the Chargers.
Okay.
I'm going with the Chargers. They seem to be I don't know. They lose and then they find a way to win the next week, and then they lose, and then they find a way to win the next week. I don't know what it is. It just seems to be the trend. I like the Bengals. There's a very good chance the Bengals actually win this game.
Yeah.
With that being said, I have Herbert in a couple of leagues now, especially since you just traded me him.
I did?
For Rodgers.
Did I trade you? I did do that? You're right. I did. We did agree upon. I'm sorry. I was blanking for a second because I remember we talked about it and I'm like, did we actually go through with that? Yes. So never mind. I did some. Yeah. I made some big moves for my team.
Mike Williams is about to give me a 30-piece this week.
I need to get him off my team. Every time I've told you this. Every time we've been over this.
Well,
every time I start him. Yeah, so you can have him. I'm not going to deal with that. Like starting him, my team sucks. Benching him, he's good. Whatever. I'm not dealing with them. But you're on the Chargers. I'm on the Bengals. All right. Next up, Colts Texans. Colts lost, not necessarily a heartbreaker, but I think that was a game they should have won against Tampa. They were up by 10.5, and then everything changed when Shaq Barrett came in and strip sacked Carson Wentz in the third. We're both in the Colts, though, I would think, right? Unless you're
Yeah. Why did they stop? Okay. Why did they not feed Jonathan Taylor though? Like, why do you not give the leading rusher the ball behind that stacked offensive line?
They were doing everything right up until that point. I don't know. It was I don't know if it was play action or whatever it was. If they go down and score, they probably win the game only because they'd be up, I think, maybe 2 or 3 possessions. But Shaq Barrett kind of changed the game from there. But you could say hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor because obviously he's an absolute maniac. I know Darius Leonard's nickname is the Maniac, but I think Jonathan Taylor's a maniac on the offensive side. So yeah, you could have handed the ball off, but if they score a touchdown on that pass play, it's shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Well, the one drive in the second half that they actually gave the ball to Jonathan Taylor, I mean, he went downfield 56 yards by himself and scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't throw. They had the one pass play to Nyheim Hines that went for like 4 yards. Besides that, the rest of the plays were literally just Jonathan Taylor run. So that's where it just like it's a mind boggler for me.
First half, Carson Wentz was unbelievable. I don't have the stat line in front of me, but the second half, I think he was like 11 of like 20 or 11 of 21 for 107 yards and a pick and strip sack. Like it's not horrible, but there was clearly a difference from the first half to the second half, and the Tampa Bay defense played so well. But yeah, we're both in the Colts. This should be a game. If they lose this game, they would be in big trouble for missing the playoffs. I think this is a must-win game, and I think
Absolutely.
they get it at Houston. Eagles, Jets, the Joe Flacco game. Obviously, Joe Flacco is returning to his home, New York. Or no. Is he on the Jets or is he on the Eagles?
Flacco, he's on the Jets.
So yes, he was on the Jets before, then went to the. I was thinking he was still on the Eagles. He's on the Jets, went to the Eagles, now is back on the Jets. So now Joe Flacco's former team is coming to New York. Eagles are very much in this thing. They're 5-7. You never know. I like the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts is playing well. I think the Eagles defense led by Darius Slay is playing well too. Also the Jets stink. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I like the Eagles, and give me Zach Wilson 3 more picks. So
yeah, he's not too many highlights from him this year. That's a bad. But again, he's a rookie. You've seen Peyton Manning throw however many picks he did in the season, then come back and become one of the greatest of all time. So
absolutely.
Haven't seen that yet from Zach Wilson, but maybe he'll turn it around, hopefully. We're both on Philly. Next up, Giants, Dolphins. Two teams that are not very much, but two teams that are still alive in their respective conferences. Miami's on fire right now. This is a game too. I want to see Miami win it because I think they will, and I think they're going to continue that really hot streak they're on. And I want to see them get in the playoffs. So give me the Miami Dolphins. I think the Giants are they're the king of inconsistency under Joe Judge. Give me Miami. They're just too hot right now. And I think Brian Flores is a better coach and has this team ready to go.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Tua's playing to basically show everybody who Tua really is.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of people called for Tua to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
And they never really gave him that fair shot until this year when he's basically gotten this chance. And now he's just balling out. If they give him one more weapon besides Gesicki and
Devontae Parker, Will Fuller.
I mean,
Jalen Waddle.
One more weapon. Jalen Waddle's the one that's been the healthiest. Will Fuller's been a little bit here and there. Mm-hmm. Devontae Parker, isn't he on? They placed him on IR, didn't they?
I think you may be right. This is something I should know, and I don't know it. But I think you're right. Yeah.
So right now it's Waddle and Gesicki, and so I mean, if you give him somebody that's reliable to add to Waddle and Gesicki, that defense is playing pretty darn well right now.
Yep.
So it's gonna be a tough team to go through. At the same time, can they handle with the Chiefs and the Bills? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're showing that they can be a solid ball. They can be a solid ball team.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. I think Brian Flores, like any defense coach by Belichick or a Bill Belichick disciple, like Brian, like you can count on the defense being pretty good. So that's what the Dolphins certainly can hang their hat on for sure. But we're both in the Dolphins. Next up, NFC North. Divisional game, Vikings at the Lions. Lions are 0-10-1. I'd love to see the Lions win this game, but unfortunately they will not. Vikings are they beat the Packers at home it's a great win. You think, okay, they're a dangerous team in the league. Then they go out to San Francisco and Kirk Cousins can't even line up behind his own center. I don't know if you saw that play or not, but like they had to call timeout.
He lined up behind the right guard.
Under the guard, yeah. So Minnesota, I think, is also inconsistent. I would probably say, I think inconsistent is probably the word I use most on the show to describe horrible teams, but I really do think Minnesota, like, they beat the Packers. Their offense went nuts. They beat the Packers, and then they play another good team in San Francisco. You'd think they could beat San Francisco if they were able to beat the Packers, and no, they pooped the bed. So I think the Vikings are hungry for a win. I think they get it because the Lions are 0-10-1, but I'd love to see the Lions win.
I don't know. The Lions, I'd love to see it for Dan Campbell's sake, and that's it.
Yep.
But the Vikings is almost the clear and obvious choice here. The Lions, since they didn't beat the Bears on Thanksgiving, they're definitely going 0-16-1. For the first 17-game season, they're going to be the first team to go 0-16. They're going to manage to do it.
There is no Dalvin Cook. There's Alexander Madison. So it should be who knows? I doubt that'll slow them. I doubt the Lions will be able to slow them down, but there's no Dalvin Cook. So maybe that's something they can hopefully, be happy about. But we're both in the Vikings. Next up, Jaguars Rams. This is simple. We're both, I don't mean to make your picks for you, but we're both in the Rams. We should be. Rams are a team that has not won in a month. The game, although they lost by one possession, the Packers game really wasn't close. Odell Beckham got a garbage deep ball touchdown. Not late, but it was the third quarter. The Packers were up 36-17. The Rams were outmatched in that game. They are not a Super Bowl team right now. Super teams, they're proof. I heard Troy Aikman say this: super teams don't work in the NFL. I think you're seeing it like Odell Beckham is more of a name at this point. Like, not that he had a bad game, but Odell Beckham is more of a name. I'm talking about the acquisition. He's more of a name and doesn't really have the game anymore. He's past his prime. Yeah.
Let me say this. I think Robert Woods going out is what hurts Odell Beckham the most. Because Odell is supposed to be the route runner guy, and Robert Woods is supposed to be the deep threat guy.
Yeah.
Now, Odell, when he was in his rookie year, all right, sure, he can be that deep threat guy.
Yeah.
But where you would most benefit from Odell being at in this offense right now is definitely more towards the slot and just running the 15-yard routes and just being that route runner and just opening everything up. And then once they go to Kupp and Woods, then you got Odell, who will be reliable. So that the whole fact of Odell is not Odell, it's not fully his fault. It's not.
Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, I think people like that was they not necessarily because of their numbers, but they really were they played off of each other. Like they were a perfect duo. They both were like the same type of receiver. They were so great at running routes inside the slot. Especially, I mean, they could run routes from anywhere, but inside the slot, they could run deep balls, whatever it was. They were amazing. And Odell Beckham is more of, I think, a finesse. He's more of he can run every route too. But like, if you saw the Jared Goff offenses, like the game against the Chiefs on that Monday night a few years back, man, like he worked that. They played to perfection. Like they were great. And, I think Matthew Stafford is better, but, he shouldn't have had a problem in the cold at Lambeau. I mean, he's been to Lambeau thousands of times. Like, he shouldn't have had a problem playing in the cold. Like, the Packers just beat him. The Packers are a better team than they are. And you're so right. I think the Robert Woods loss is big because he and Cooper Kupp are the same guy and they can run the same kind of routes. And Odell Beckham isn't that type of receiver that he doesn't know the offense enough to, do what
make those explosive plays.
Yeah. So they'll be in the playoffs. They'll win. They're going to beat the Jaguars. They'll go to 8-4, but they're going to be playing on the road for the playoffs because they're not going to have the number one seed, or they're not going to win their division. That's how I see it anyway. But Washington, Vegas, another afternoon game. Washington's 5-6. The Raiders are 6-5. Raiders coming off that big win in Dallas. Washington, they're alive. It was a gritty one. It was maybe not pretty, but they beat Seattle on Monday night. That was a crazy game. The onside kick rule, by the way, was total bullshit. I'm sorry. But I don't know. it's one of those old rules where the guy didn't line up outside the hash. The guy had no effect on the play. I understand that doesn't really matter. That's just dumb. I hated that. I really hated that because the player, like it's a safe. John Perry at ESPN, their official, guy was saying like, it's a health and safety thing because kickoffs are so dangerous. I don't know. I think it's I thought it was a dumb ruling and robbed us of a great ending.
That's very true, but you can't really go back on it now. I mean,
Yep.
You can only dwell in the past. You can't go back to the past.
Yep. What do I know? Unless it's Back to the Future. I haven't seen Back to the Future in a really long time. I don't know if you're a fan. Time. Okay, yeah. It's. I know it's a lot of people love it. I should probably watch it at some point again because I know
that'd be a good movie to get back to.
Yeah, Back to the Future. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, Washington, Vegas. Give me Washington. I think this is a game Vegas loses. I want to believe in Vegas. I love Derek Carr. I think they have some good players. I love Darren Waller. He's on my fantasy team, but these last few years they've just been so inconsistent. They're 6-5 or 5-4, whatever they are, and they just don't seem to get to that finish line and make the playoffs. Washington is a team that's on the rise. Dallas is struggling right now. I think Washington wins this and gets to 500.
I think so too. Washington's finding who they are again, and they're going like this, and the Raiders are kind of going like this right now.
Yeah.
So it's give me the hot hand. Give me the football team.
Yeah, let's go. Taylor Heinicke's such a great story. I love him. He's that guy is such a gamer, and
absolutely
he loves Brett Favre. Of course, that makes me love him more. But it's such a great story. What he's gone through, going to Old Dominion, and then last year he was taking online classes or something for school, and then he somehow was doing this. It's unbelievable. NFC West rivalry. This game, I think they're done regardless. But the Seahawks, this is it. They got to win out if they want a prayer at making the. I don't think they will, but this is it. But give me San Francisco. San Francisco is getting hot right now too. I think they're the better team. Seahawks did just sign Adrian Peterson. I'm so happy Adrian Peterson is still in the league. But San Francisco, I think San Francisco is the better team. They're hotter right now.
Yeah, Seahawks. I feel like they're starting to lose themselves right now, and Russ is probably going to be gone. Do you think Pete Carroll's going to be gone after this year? Do you think so?
We could be looking at a Mike McCarthy situation in the sense that not that the league has passed him by, but you're looking at these teams getting all these hotshot young head coaches. Pete Carroll's been there, 13, 14, 15 years. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's probably a Hall of Famer, I guess.
I'd put him in there.
You would or you wouldn't?
I would.
Yeah.
I would. He's got the resume.
Yeah, no, he's a great coach. He's been everywhere. He's won everywhere pretty much. But it would not surprise me because sometimes it's just time for a change. It's not that the coach is a bad coach. It's just sometimes it's time for a change, and we might see that.
Yeah.
So we could be looking at a big makeover in Seattle this offseason, but
absolutely.
Hope not, because Russell Wilson, I think he belongs in Seattle. I think the Seahawks need him. It's like Rodgers and the Packers. They should be together. It's just that it's just smart. You can't imagine life without those teams and those players being together for sure. But we're both in San Francisco. 3 more games. Ravens, Steelers, an old rivalry renewed. Steelers 5-5-1, Ravens 8-3. Lamar Jackson threw 4 picks on Sunday night, but made some of the craziest plays you will ever see. Give me the Ravens. I think the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, you hear him talking about how the players shouldn't be listening to music, or I'm going to control what's happening in practice. After Chase Claypool talked about we should be playing music, we should be dancing. No, you guys are 5-5-1, struggling right now. Is TJ Watt back, or is he still injured, or I don't know? He didn't have COVID. It was just a hip thing. He was injured with a hip.
Yeah, he was injured. It wasn't COVID.
Yeah. So this is. I don't want to keep calling it a must. I don't know if I'll go as far as to say it's a must win, but I think if they want to stay alive for the division, that's what I'll say, then this is a must win. I think they're still alive for the postseason with the loss. Give me Baltimore, though. I think Baltimore is the better team. I think Harbaugh and Lamar just find ways, man. I think they find ways. I love Lamar Jackson and this Ravens team. The attitude they have, again, is infectious. And, Lamar is one of the few players on this planet where it's like, okay, you can throw 4 picks and we can still win. So give me Baltimore. Give me Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, give me Lamar. It's riding the hot hand right now, and the Ravens. I feel like they're a much better team right now.
Yeah.
So give me the Ravens over the Steelers, even though it's in Pittsburgh.
Ravens are the number 1 seed right now, and the Steelers are still fighting for those wild cards. Broncos, Chiefs, Sunday Night Football. Broncos are 6-5, coming off of a win against the Chargers. So that's a big win for them. Chiefs had a bye week last week. I think the Chiefs handle them here. I want to see. Okay, the Broncos are 6-5. I want to hope this is going to be a good game, but I just don't see it. I think Kansas City is. There's what are they on a 4-game win streak right now? Their defense is playing great. The offense is just gonna, explode at some point. Give me Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas City as well. They're starting to find their groove again. They're starting to become the Kansas City Chiefs of the last 3 years, and not the first 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So
give
me the Chiefs. I think they're gonna roll through.
What a roller coaster this has been for the Chiefs, by the way, too. I mean, they were 2-4 or wherever, and people were writing them off,
absolutely,
or at least throwing them under the bus. And now they are quietly at 7-4, right behind Baltimore. So they're right there. Finally, Monday night. This might be the game of the week. I'm so excited for this game. Number one, I love when Monday Night Football goes to Buffalo because it feels like they don't go there very much. Patriots, though, are in first place. They're 8-4. The Bills are 7-4. You'd think the Bills would be in first place now. This is a big game. I think the Bills are the better team. I do think the Bills have a higher ceiling. I think they are truly the better team. When it comes to it, I know the Patriots are 8-4. I love Bill Belichick. He reminds me of the Emperor. I love him. I think Mac Jones is playing great. I love the defense. I think Buffalo is the better team, and I think they're going to prove it on Monday night. Give me Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo as well.
Yes.
Mainly because I am not a Patriots fan whatsoever. And hearing Patriots fans go off about how Mac Jones this, Mac Jones that, and everything else, this and that. I don't think who's their competition the last 6 weeks that everybody's just gloating.
That is true. They've played the Falcons. They've played the Browns. They've played.
They beat the Chargers. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Jets. They lost to the Cowboys. They beat the Titans, who are depleted right now.
That is true.
I don't know.
They've beaten teams. They've beaten a bunch of teams that are 6-5. Okay, so the Jets obviously are terrible. We know the Jets are bad, but they've beaten a Chargers team that is sometimes inconsistent. The Browns, who are just not good right now. They're not finding their stride. The Titans don't have Derrick Henry, and they were supposed to win that. The Patriots were supposed to win that game, and they did. That's probably their most impressive win. But this, I think going to Buffalo would be, because Buffalo's not hurt. Buffalo, this is a big game. If the Patriots win this game, I will say then
we can say that they actually have a legit shot.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I think the Patriots are gonna get a little bit of a wake up call where all right, we're good, but we're not that good quite yet. We're not back to the early 2000s.
I love the way you put that. I think they're gonna need a wake up call. It's happened to the Packers a few times. Don't want to talk about that though. That's pretty much it. Both on Buffalo. Gonna be a fun weekend. There are a lot of great games, a lot of underrated games. But this is the end of the show because we don't want to talk anymore. You're going bowling. You told me, right? You're going bowling tonight.
Yes, sir.
I love bowling. Have you ever picked out a ball where the the hole is too small, so it's gotten your fingers have gotten stuck? Like,
I have fat fingers too, so
oh my
I
gosh.
never find the right ball. It's either a
Mhm.
size 13 or I just don't put my fingers in it and I just huck it down the lane.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, there's some people who bowl with like an open hand, like, I mean, the professional bowlers, like, I don't know how they do it. I believe in, when you bowl, speed, I think, is of the essence. Like, I don't know how to like turn the ball or give it a rotation. I just I grab it with my fingers and I just whip it down there as fast as I can, and hopefully it doesn't shift at all and miss the front few pins, because if you hit the side, you're not getting a strike. However, it does set me up for like the classic White Goodman, like the spare me, like at the end of the movie when he's fat and eating his chicken or whatever on the couch. And
yeah,
that's the great quote to use. So have fun with that. I'm going to maybe make some risotto or something. I don't know, but there's football. I'm going to watch Cowboys Saints. It's going to be good. So I'll let you go. Yeah, I'll let you
sounds
go.
like
This
a
is fun.
plan.
Yeah.